It's amazing. That's exactly what we're going to look at in this podcast. We have a photo from 2011 to start with.
Wow.
We did our homework. Meyade, could you tell us what we're looking at on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, this is such an amazing picture. I'll tell you about it. So the backstory is, I used to play a game called RuneScape, which is an online MMORPG. It's an online world. You could play in it. You could interact with people in it. And I started playing, I think, when I was 13 or 12 years old. And everything was in English, right? As you can see also on the pictures, nature runes, lobsters, logs, whatsoever. So my English, started to be, quite good for that period of time and my age, just because of this game. And first in the game, there was a free trade thing, right? So you could start trading with people, interacting, buying and selling, trying to merge items, trying to make a profit out of it. And at some point, the game introduced a Grand Exchange. A Grand Exchange is an online marketplace in that game where you could buy and sell items, but also leave items in, put your profit market in, etc. And as you can see here on this place, you can see Grand Exchange all the way on the top. You see different items, Nate runes, air talismans, Grimmy Snapdragon seeds. I still remember the name. And you can also see the profit margin I've been making, the minus, the pluses. And I really try to make some good profits every day that I log in. And I turn out to be quite wealthy in that game.
It's like a trading diary, right?
Yeah, this is like a trading diary. It's exactly my trading diary. And I've been doing it in 2011 when I was a young kid, not knowing anything about Bitcoin, not knowing anything where my future was heading to. But this was just, my thing. And I was so addicted to it, to making money, making those good trades, being in those chats where people, would share these trades, looking at the news, what, for example, we're heading into the summer. So that means a lot of people are playing. So that means a lot of more buys will be getting instead of selling. And at some point, my mom told me like, hey man, or hey man, hey me, I know you're a young kid, but I think it's you have to start making real money, right? Like tangible money on your bank account.
Because we were playing hours and hours, right?
I've been playing hours. People that listen to this podcast will know, but there was a summer, I think it was 2011 or 2012. My friend went on holiday and he came back after summer. I was like maxed out. My account was maxed out, and I needed to play quite a lot of hours to be maxed out. So that was my thing. And at 13 years old, my mom told me like, "Hey, get a real job." So I was getting a real job. I worked at Albert Heijn at 13 years old, which is quite young. I started making, I think, 500, 600 euros per month, which was quite a good amount of money.
You were grinding away as well there with the €3 per hour salary.
I was financially free, right? I didn't need to ask my mom or dad, to buy me candy or to buy video games. I could buy it myself, which was an amazing feeling. And that was the moment where I put my games aside and just start focusing on gaining real money. And then indeed, fast forward to 2017, when I was introduced to the Bitcoin, I saw, these exchanges, these places where you could buy and sell cryptocurrencies. And it looked exactly like I did back in the day with RuneScape. And it was like, whoa. So I now can finally, do the thing I did back in the day with, gaming, but now I can earn real money with it. So it seems like I was born to be in this sector.
You were just playing the demo version before with like fake, it's like now, on exchanges, you have the function where you can trade with fake money, right? Just to see how you're doing. It's what you were doing back then. In a different way, but you were already making those hours, understanding the market, understanding how events outside of the market, like news, for example, or political election, can have influence. It's so funny how back then you already had that knowledge. And it's funny because what you're saying now, if I think back at my youth, when I was like 8, 9, I was grinding away on Minecraft. I loved to build houses. I would be doing building battles with friends where we had a certain amount of time and you had to build something and then people had to guess what it was. And then I ended up studying architecture. It was it's the same thing to a point where I got so good in building in Minecraft where at some point in the first year of architecture, we had to build a sketch of a house, and we did not learn 3D design, or we did not learn anything in that aspect yet. So I built it in Minecraft. I was like, this is what I'm gonna make. This is the materials. And it was perfect because it was a very quick way to draw a sketch of a house. And I mean, that's the metaphor for like going from Minecraft to architecture. But for you, it was going from like trading like in-game attributes to like trading real money.
Yeah.
And it's funny how those things can really like have such a big impact, because back then we're not thinking about that, right?
For sure. And you know what's also a funny thing? So the Grand Exchange was a online marketplace in that game where you could buy and sell, but you didn't interact with the clients directly, right?
Okay.
But before that, it was the OG RuneScape. There was no Grand Exchange, so you needed to interact with the people. So there were these worlds, World 1 and 2. There were these specific places in these worlds where you could buy and sell different items. And I really needed to, convince these people like, hey man, I need you to buy this item, for this amount of money, So, and there was also these codes, like it was like blue ... wave ... I'm selling, lobsters. And you see like the text, waving like blue wave. So you're trying to be, as active as possible, as responsive as possible to sell these items.
Marketing as well, right? With the blue colors
Again,
and everything.
Exactly. Marketing, convincing people, thinking of their needs, what they need. And again, this is 2011. I was playing already years before that. I was still a young kid, 10, 11, 12 years old. And being at that age, having that experience in selling, marketing, merching, even though I didn't realize at that point how valuable it would be, it turned out to be that it was my fundament to where I am right now.